My goodness, another great night of NBA playoff basketball. Wow, these playoffs have been top tier. And tonight, whenever you're watching this, I want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder versus Denver Nuggets game. Shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers for the game that they had earlier on. But I'm not going to lie, the main event that I want to talk about, for real, is this Oklahoma City Thunder versus Denver Nuggets game. For those who don't know, who are using this video to catch up, I feel like a lot of y'all already know what happened. But nevertheless, Oklahoma City Thunder, Denver Nuggets score 113-104. Went to overtime. The Denver Nuggets now have a 2-1 lead. They now have a 2-1 lead on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Another team on pace to pull off an upset that, let's just keep it real, a lot of us did not see coming going into these playoffs. The Thunder were looking like world beaters. Okay? The Nuggets, not so much. Still a very solid team, not so much. But with the way the Thunder were playing, I'm going to keep it real. In the West, it looked like they was about to roll through everyone. But now they find themselves down 2-1 in a series where they were heavily favored in. I want to start off by giving the Denver Nuggets their credit. Just for the season as a whole, but for this game, shout out to MPJ for showing up. There were stretches in this game where he was looking like Kevin Durant out there. And I understand that sounds like an exaggeration. If you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. Specifically in that first half, MPJ was looking like Kevin Durant. Yes, the Slim Reaper. I want to shout out Aaron Gordon. Round of applause for Aaron Gordon. Out of all the role players, out of all the players in these playoffs so far, top 3 most clutch player in the playoffs so far. The only person really battling him is like Jalen Brunson, maybe Tyrese Halliburton. But Aaron Gordon, the shots that he's been making, the plays that he's been making has been so phenomenal. It is insane. The level of improvement I've also seen in this game, specifically offensively, this year, and again, that translating to the playoffs, has been phenomenal for the Denver Nuggets. I think it has been the X factor for the Denver Nuggets. Aaron Gordon has been showing up. In a lot of these games, he has been Denver's like second best player next to Jokic. Shout out to Aaron Gordon. Because this team's whole makeup, just even with how they utilize Jokic, that two-man game that they run with Aaron Gordon, how Aaron Gordon utilizes his effectiveness in the dunker spot, a lot of that doesn't exist without Aaron Gordon. I think that skill set, him being a lob threat and him being able to stretch out the floor the way that he does now, is very unique to Aaron Gordon. So I really, really want to shout out Aaron Gordon in this regard. Jamal Murray made a lot of big buckets in this game. Shout out to Jamal Murray. Nikola Jokic, boy, I was grilling you the whole game. No shout out for you. No shout out for you. Nikola Jokic was buns this game. Had a good OT, but outside of that was buns this game. This is the worst Nikola Jokic game I have seen ever with my own 2 eyes. We're looking at 20 points, 16 rebounds. Okay, 16 rebounds is cool, right? 6 assists. Had 2 steals, 2 blocks. But again, this is one of those things where you really got to look outside of the stat sheet. And even still, I really don't think you do. 20 points from a guy who we're used to seeing put up 30, right? 8 turnovers. 8 turnovers. Shot 8 of 25 from the field, 32%. And 0 for 10 from 3. 0 for 10 from 3. From who many consider is the best player in the world. Nikola Jokic had a bad game. Full stop. Full stop. He played like shit. He played ass. Okay? He played ass. But somehow, they actually did not did not lose this game, because on the other side of things, it didn't look too well. J-Dub had a monster game, 32 points, 11 of 21 from the field. Chet Holmgren actually had a decent first quarter, but ended up shooting 7 of 19 for the game. I ain't gonna lie, he was looking like a KP clone the second half of the game. You know, a big man that can stretch the floor, that can block shots, but I'm not gonna lie, it looks sweet down there. Really need to get into the weight room for real. Isaiah Hartenstein, 5 of 14. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. Lou Dort was 1 of 6 from the field. Alex Caruso was 2 of 9. SGA. Aura Man SGA. 18 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, but shot 7 of 22 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, and only got to the line 5 times. That's his forte. And this is where I'm going to get nasty. Because for the last 2 days, as a Celtics fan, y'all see the jersey in the back, y'all see the hat, y'all know who I am. I have been getting grilled on the timeline. But even outside of me, Jason Tatum has been getting grilled on the timeline. And yes, I'm going to make this about him. Fuck it. Because the amount of think pieces, the amount of legacy-changing talks, the amount of shit Jason Tatum has gotten over the last 2 days, honestly well-deserved. Y'all might have not, you know what I'm saying, expected that from me. Honestly well-deserved. He's been playing like shit. But a lot of that conversation has been about holding players to their standards, right? Having conversations about players where they properly should. Stop putting Jason Tatum in conversations that he doesn't need to be in. I actually agree. I do not think Jason Tatum is in the SGA class, the Giannis class, the Jokic class. If Luka is healthy, the Luka class. I actually do not believe that. I'm being no troll aside. I think he is legitimately a tier below those people. But if that is the conversation we are consistently gonna have, let's be consistent and really apply what we're talking about to reality. So what that means is, let's hold these players that are better than Jason Tatum to the fire more than Jason Tatum, because they are supposedly better than him, so we should be holding them to higher standards. So when they play like shit, they should be held to the fire more than the guy who is consistently inconsistent, who is apparently a tier below them. They should be getting more smoke than that dude. Because I don't know about y'all, but if this is the real conversation we're about to have, I held LeBron, I held Kobe, I held Wade to a different standard than Paul Pierce, than Michael Redd, than Joe Johnson, right? And that's been a conversation, right? Jason Tatum is this generation's Paul Pierce. He's Paul Pierce with marketing. You know what I'm saying? He's Paul George with a better. So let's stay on that then. Let's stay on that. And in that reality, you would hold LeBron to the fire. You would hold Kobe to the fire, not Joe Johnson, right? So I say all that to say, when SGA, MVP frontrunner, people who have put him in Kobe talks, best in the world talks, has a 7 of 22 game, didn't show up in the fourth quarter, didn't show up in OT, shot themselves out the game, has a shitter stinker game, y'all better hold him to the fucking fire. Y'all better. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been quiet about SGA, But SGA hasn't had the most dominant playoff run in these playoffs so far. Because we ignored what he did against Memphis because they were just blowing him out. But look at these performances that he was having against Memphis. 15 points, 4 of 13, 27 points on 10 of 29, 31 points on 10 of 26, 38 points in game 4. Fantastic. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Right? Had really good games these first 2 games in Denver. But we were silent about SGA after I'm going to be honest, a mid first round. Similar to Tatum last year because they were winning. Unsimilar to Tatum last year, even when they were winning against the Miami Heat, I was hearing those conversations about when is Tatum going to show up in the first round. In the first round. Those were the conversations we were having last year. So SGA, he better get hold to the fire to the same degree. And this ain't really just about SGA. Let's bring up Jokic too. Jokic. Horrible game today. But this is what they won't tell you. He was horrible last game too. He was horrible last game too. Last game. 17 points, 6 turnovers, 6 fouls, 6 of 16 from the field. Horrible. Got blown out by 43. Was horrible on defense. Where were the talks about the best player in the world when Jokic had a stinker? And I'll go even further, because another guy that people really want to prop up in this conversation is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, after getting his shit off against the Lakers, these last 3 games, Anthony Edwards got the best PR in the game, because no one has said shit about Anthony Edwards these last 3 games. In that closeout game, 15 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds, 5 of 19 from the field, 0 of 11 from 3. But because he's Aura Man, because he beat the Lakers, he can gallivant around Crypto Center, around Crypto Arena, and do fucking marketing ads and not be called corny and not be shitted on because he's Anthony Edwards. Goes into the Golden State game, the Golden State series. Shot 9 of 22 from the field in the first game. And then in the second game, 20 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds on 6 of 13. But I swear to God, I was watching that game. He was not shooting well for a majority of this game. He got a couple garbage time buckets that got it up to 46%. We just got to keep the same energy. I concede. Hey, chat, I concede. Tatum is not in these conversations. Cool. Let's progress the conversation. Let's not talk about Tatum. He's not in that category. Let's talk about the people who are. And when they don't show up, I'm going to hold them to the fire the same way y'all do it with my guy. Yeah, I went there. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. And don't let the Celtics win tomorrow, because I'm going to be back tomorrow talking my shit. Don't let Tatum have a good game, too. With that being said, also, OKC, y'all are legitimately in trouble, though, for real. I think this loss, there's been a lot made about the inexperience portion of this team, how inexperienced will play for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I do think they are talented enough to make it to the Western Conference Finals, but specifically in the series, going up against the Denver Nuggets, who have been through wars wars. Like that, I wouldn't have a problem if their path in the playoffs was the Grizzlies, the Clippers, and then in the Western Conference Finals they face the Minnesota Timberwolves. But when you facing the Denver Nuggets, former champs, that court, as long as Jamal, AG, and Jokic are there, I think that core is ultimately still there. And MPJ, my bad. That core, that championship core is still ultimately there. Right? What I think what I saw tonight was that inexperience really coming out. They got to figure it out at some point. But OKC fans should be worried. OKC fans should definitely worry. Because SGA has not been as consistent as we've all propped them up to be in these playoffs. That's the one thing that everyone has been amazed by SGA, is his consistency. He hasn't been consistent in these playoffs so far. And when SGA ain't showing up, and you got to rely on J-Dub and Chet Holmgren to take you home, J-Dub showed out tonight. Chet, hey, that being said, man, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right? Peace.